we wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts about the arrest of the Commissioner of Police?
My thoughts? It's not a good thought, because I'm a little bit disappointed.
Welcome to Owen Allen Media. Trinidad and Tobago Police Commissioner Erla Harewood Christopher has been arrested and detained as part of an ongoing investigation into the unlawful procurement of sniper rifles by Strategic Services Agency. Alongside her, former SSA Director Major Roger Bess has also been taken into custody. Authorities have assured the public that due process will be followed and that the integrity of the investigation remains intact. For me personally, this should not have happened. This is corruption within the highest ranks of law enforcement, and I am sure members of Trinidad Police Department are disappointed, and this story is disappointing on many levels.
As you are aware, the Commissioner of Police, Ms. Erla Harewood Christopher, has been arrested and detained along with ex-SSA Director Roger Bess over the past few days. We understand that this has raised significant public concern, and we are committed to providing as much information as possible while respecting the ongoing investigation.
So the police commissioner, who is supposed to be the ultimate enforcer of the law, is now at the center of a criminal probe now that is betrayal of public trust and confidence that Trinidad and Tobago people have in the justice system, and it reinforced the belief that corruption runs deep within Trinidad and Tobago institutions. Now the secrecy surrounding the investigation is also a red flag for me, right? While Trinidad officials stress the importance of due process, the lack of transparency makes it difficult for, the people of Trinidad to trust that justice will be served fairly. Just a reminder to the people, this is not an isolated incident. Trinidad and Tobago has a history of police commissioner being embroiled, right, in scandals like these, and prove that there is a systemic issue within the system that remains unattended. Now, what makes this case even more troubling is how it contrasts with the way the same authorities treat the youths in Trinidad, right? And they blame the youths for everything. So when the crime rate rise, young people are blamed. The Trinidad is also blamed and portrayed as the root cause of violence and lawlessness. Yet here we see misconduct at the very pinnacle, the very top, by the same people tasked with enforcing the law. So what example does this set, right? If the highest ranking officials engage in corruption, how can they expect the younger generation or Trinidad to respect the justice system, right? So that's a big double standard in leadership, and correct me if I'm wrong. They are quick to criticize and penalize the youths, and it could be the 6, the 7, the 8, or the 9, or whatever, whoever gets the blame, but authorities themselves failing to hold themselves accountable. Prime Minister Keith Rowley has acknowledged the gravity of the situation and said he's disappointed. However, due process must be followed. So Keith Rowley hinted that he has some ideas, regarding the matter, but chose not to disclose them. Could be for deeper political or security concerns, right? Now, my question is, will justice truly be served, or will this be like many situations before this, where it just fade away right before our eyes with no real consequences? It's also reported that the police commissioner, Erla, has fallen ill while in police custody and was taken for medical treatment. Does this sudden health crisis makes you wonder if she's faking it? Because we have seen this before. It's a pattern often seen in high-profile arrests where medical emergencies delay or complicate legal proceedings. Whether genuine or not, you can say it contributes to the perception that powerful figures receive different treatment than the average citizens, and that need to stop. Question is, when will it actually stop? No, honestly, this scandal is more than just Erla arrest. It is a reflection of the deep-rooted issue in Trinidad and Tobago, governance and law enforcement. If the country truly wants to tackle the crime and violence that they often speak about and restore trust in its institution. Accountability must begin at the top. Leaders cannot continue to blame the youths for crime while engaging in questionable activities themselves. So if justice is to be served, this case must be handled with transparency, integrity, and real consequences, not just empty promises, and then you see it just thrown out, you know what I mean, and we never know what really happened. Now, this is what Keith Rowley said about the Trinidad and Tobago Police Commissioner being arrested and charged.
You wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts about the arrest of the Commissioner of Police?
My thoughts? It's not a good thought, because I'm a little bit disappointed. Whatever has happened, that it has come to that a senior officer like that could have apparently run afoul of the law. But I know that in Trinidad and Tobago, we are a nation governed by laws. There's protection for the innocent. A person is innocent until proven guilty, and due process is guaranteed. So it's a matter for law enforcement, the police, and the DPP, because as you know, no person in this country can be arbitrarily charged or prosecuted for criminal conduct without the oversight of the DPP's office. So those safeguards are in place, and we expect that every citizen will avail him or herself of the protection of the law, as well as being held accountable for whatever conduct is raised in the appropriate court. I want to make something very clear, because this is a country of confusion and mischief on the part of some. I've already seen some people attempting to ascribe this as a government matter. Let me just emphasize to you all, the government of Trinidad and Tobago does not identify any person to become the subject of police investigation, charge, or prosecution. That is a matter for the police, and there's no role in that process of prosecution for the government.
This is what Miss Martin said about the police commissioner being arrested.
As you are aware, the Commissioner of Police, Miss Euler Herwood Christopher, has been arrested and detained along with ex-SSA Director ReggaeMedia over the past few days. We understand that this has raised significant public concern, and we are committed to providing as much information as possible while respecting the ongoing investigation. We are working closely with the Director of Public Prosecution and the relevant authorities to ensure that due process is followed and that all legal protocols are observed. As this investigation is still ongoing and is at a sensitive stage, we are unable to provide specific details about the nature of the arrest. It is important that we allow the investigation to unfold without interference. I ask you for your understanding and patience as we work to ensure that all aspects of this matter are addressed thoroughly and fairly. I want to reassure the public that the arrest of the Commissioner of Police does not affect the day-to-day operations of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Alright, so that's the video for today. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the likes, the subscribe, the comment. Away in ReggaeMedia, we keep you informed.